Hi guys, welcome back, and if you watched my last video on my personal MTW build, this has been the Forged, there was a lot of people that commented with helpful things to try on the MOSFET board, the FCU. With this, it's a premium. Thanks to everybody that was super helpful. On top of that, there was also people that were unhelpful, calling me this, that and the other, saying I'm clueless. Now, I've tried all those things. I've tried holding down the two buttons on the FCU to program it. Nothing happens, nothing lights up. I've tried pressing the bolt release. I've tried everything. But it's not the end of the world. I've ordered a black board, which comes on the billets now. To be honest, those are much easier to program anyway, to do your dwell and your change your select fire modes. So I think just it also enables you to have a little bit more space because you haven't got a board in the back, so it's just a lot cleaner. And they use optical sensors for the selector as well, so I'll be upgrading to that. Someone has reached out, which was super helpful, and just said, look, send me the board, I'll have a look, see what's going on. And he's very confident that he can fix it. He thinks he knows what it is. It could just be this gun was not looked after. That's what he thinks, looking at the springs and stuff. He thinks it's just someone's had it, not looked after it, and they've damaged the board somehow. So when the new board gets here, I'll be stripping the old board out, sending that over to him. He's going to have a look, and if he can fix it, he can send it back. I've got a spare. I offered to pay him for his services, but he's not interested, so he just wants to help support the channel. So there are some of you out there that are super helpful and supportive of the channel, and there's those that just pop onto the video and, you know, start blasting this, that and the other. So the other question to answer was to do with the rail. So with the rail going on, a few of you pointed out a few things. Brian, if you're watching, you was on about this pin here, saying was that stopping? It's not. And there's nothing actually stopping this going back as far as it needs to be. Now, when you secure this arm down, and I'm hoping this will focus, so it's cammed. So as you push that into position like that, this sticks up. So it's basically like a big cam, and the cam sits in the curved slot on the barrel nut. So it can only go into one position. It can't go any other way and be tightened up. So it does bottom out on the rail. You'll see there's a little ledge there, so that bottoms out on the barrel nut. This cams up into place, which secures it, and then the rail is secured. So I'm basically just going to end up taking that amount of material. So you'll see here, I don't have my calipers with me, but let's see if I can get something to show you the depth. Not quite that. So this Torx will go through the gap, so it's roughly about the same width as this Torx screwdriver. And what I'm basically going to do, I've done this on many rifles before, is remove that amount of material off the ledge here. So it's about 30%, 40% I need to take down on that. What I can do is I can remove the material off there. That enables the barrel nut to secure down and nice and tight. And then let's say I put it on there and it goes on too far, I need a little bit this way, I can use barrel shims and get it nice and as close as possible, because, you know, I want this rail on and I want it nice and fitted correctly, and I want it to sit up against the receiver like that. As you can see, without the barrel nut on, this secures down absolutely fine. It clears everything. It's just need to modify this piece here. It's just too fat. So removing the material as well from this ledge also means it doesn't mess around with any of the inner barrel or hot parts that sit into the outer barrel. So all that will remain the same. We're just removing a bit of material off there. Like I say, I've done this before on other platforms, mainly systemas and stuff, when people have wanted rails fitting that just won't move far back enough. I'm going to do it on there. I'm not going to, some people might say, well, just, you know, machine this. Now, it already looks like it's had a little bit of a tap on a lathe. And yes, that would work also, but these parts aren't expensive. This I can't replace. So as torn up as it is from its previous owner, I can't replace this. I can replace this pretty easily. So that is up to speed with that. Now I have ordered a bunch of bits. Now I've got the charging handle already, which I need to modify. I've ordered all the other Strike Industries stuff. I know I keep calling it Silent Industries, different company. But I've ordered all the Strike Industries stuff. Once I've got the rail fitted onto the rifle properly, then I'll start looking at barrel lengths. In terms of suppressors, I did think about using a Mark 23 suppressor. It's just a little bit too wide to go in there. It's literally like a gnat's hair off. Now I could modify this and just skim it on the lathe and narrow it up a little bit, but I don't really want to be doing that. So perhaps I need to speak to Mr. Sniper Mechanic and get another hex, because all these are pretty much spoken for. I don't think this would go in either. So I want something that's going to fit inside. And obviously I won't be using this, but you can guess the type of size that I'll need. So the hex seem to go in there really nice. I do like how fat and chunky these are as well. In the MTW EPM video, I was using this and it really was sort of dulling the noise down quite a bit. I think it's just a perfect fit. I don't know. Let me know down the comments below, guys. Do you think I should use one of these hexes? They're very cool. Obviously, these are some samples that were sent to me by Empire, so I'll have to purchase one for this build. So yeah, got that sorted. We'll get the rail fitted, then we'll get the barrel sorted. I need to heat this up, get this off, and then I've got the other barrel, which is on here somewhere, but so I'll be using the shorter barrel. The next set of questions is about the MTW9. So I put a video up in regards to the magazines, and I'm filming this. I put the video up today about the EPM E9 magazines for the Scorpion Evo and the MTW9. Nice magazines. They are a bit long. I would have preferred if they'd have sacrificed like a couple of rounds in the mag and just made the mag a bit shorter. I think a lot of people will be on board with it as well. They're ridiculously long, and I was having some trouble with the empty mag detection. Now, a commenter in the last video, I think, has actually nailed this, hit the nail right on the head with this, and I think he's right. So when we were putting it in the lower without the upper on, it seemed to be pressing the button perfectly fine. However, when we've got it together, it won't do it. So I'm just gonna split the upper here. Come on, there we go. I need to drill the hole a little bit bigger on that grip. It doesn't quite fit through as easy enough. But he reckons it was to do with this, and if I can pull this out, I don't think it's going to cause us an issue. And basically what he reckons was so he's literally hit the nail on the head. If you're watching this video and you were the person that commented on the last one about this, you were right. And as soon as I saw your comment, I thought, yeah, that makes perfect sense. So it's basically the BB follower won't go in the tube. It's just a little bit too big. So I could slightly bore this out a little bit, but that is the problem. You'll see how it's getting stuck on there. Watch it press down the follower. If I take the Scorpion Evo mag, obviously it just fits in there absolutely fine, and it doesn't sort of get stuck. Doesn't get stuck on the follower whatsoever. You'll see it's pushing down the BB retention lips, but it's not pushing down the mag follower. So he is correct. I will measure this. I'm not sure. I know on the newer guns they've got that different feed tube, like on the forged. Let me grab it out and I'll show you the difference. But again, you shouldn't really have to be modifying your gun to fit a mag that's literally made for it. So these have the different followers which have the BB retention on them. Not a fan of this, to be honest. I'll be taking it off, but it sticks out quite a fair bit more. And to be honest, it does get stuck on that as well. So either the moulding's off with these magazines and it's a little bit too much, or it's a case of you need to just keep your minds out the gutter, guys, but you basically just need to ream this hole a little bit and just open it up slightly. So I'll need to do some measuring, see what I can get away with. I don't think it'll be a massive issue if we open up that hole slightly. Again, I can just hear the innuendos as I'm doing it, but yeah, I think that's the problem. To me, it's not a hard, you know, rectification at all. But yeah, well done to that chap in the comments. He hit the nail on the head. And just so you can see this here, because I'm going to get loads of people saying you're not doing it right. It's pushing the follower down. And what that means is, and I thought it was weird that, you know, a lot of BBs were dropping out the bottom of the mag well as I was taking it out. So what that's doing basically is it's not allowing this arm to be activated when it's in the gun. So, I mean, actually, it could be slightly off in the magwell, maybe. But that would be the first thing to change. Again, might have some drill bits here somewhere. We can give it a go. We'll just see what size it is. So we've got a 6mm. That drops straight through. 6.5. That does get stuck. So we're just over a 6mm drill bit size. I do have some 6mm reamers, so I can just follow that through and just make sure it's okay. Now, this gun is brand new. If you watch the build on it, it's not like it's a used one like the Forged, which we're trying to resurrect. This gun is a brand new rifle. So yeah, we found the issue, and hopefully that's helped you guys if you're thinking of the same thing. But yeah, well done to that chap. What I will do is, if I do modify it, I'll do another video and we'll test it and we'll see if it works. But again, this isn't something you should really be doing on brand new magazines. A lot of people have messaged me and said, look, these work perfectly in the Scorpion Evos, so it could just be an MTW9 thing. If you have an MTW9 and you've bought these mags, I want to know down below what's going on. Is it my gun? Who knows? So just a quick video, just answering some questions, because a lot of people are throwing this, that and the other around, accusations, telling me I don't know what I'm doing. And with the electronics, yes, that might be slightly right, because the only MTWs I've owned are billets, and they've all had the black trigger boards. So I don't think I've had an MTW with the old, no I did, I had one a while ago, but again, that's been such a long time ago, I just wasn't aware. So thank you for that. Coming up in the next videos, we need to get the B15s finished, which is the SLR B15 MWS build. Now I've just got the original Marui tube on there as a placeholder. I think I want to make it work with one of these stocks. It's the only thing that makes sense in my opinion. If I go back to a stock tube and I put a big stock on it and a big grip, and then it's just literally a big gun but with a really short front end. So yeah, not too sure on that, haven't made my mind up. It would mean that we would be slightly modifying the receiver, so this would need slightly modifying to clear the rails. Not sure I could get away with modifying the rails because they do have to sort of slot in, so I don't think that's going to work. But yeah, don't worry, more MWS content coming. We're going to do some content on the Toxicant series, so the Rattler and the Spear LT. And yeah, don't worry guys, more stuff coming on that. We do want to take apart the bolt and have a look, because there are people asking if my downgrade valves will fit that bolt, which I'm not sure why. I don't think they're hot anyway, but we'll give it a go. So thanks for tuning into another video. I know I'm back rolling them, and I've done a bit of a stint of doing one every day, but don't get used to it. I'm not promising I'm going to be back doing that again, because it was crazy. I'll just make content as it's made and post it up, and then hopefully it's useful to some of you. So thanks for tuning in again. Sorry if this is a longer video than it should have been. And as always, from me and Bench, see you in the next one.